Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and here I am back with another video related to Global Korea Scholarship, and in this video we will be decoding the whole guideline for 2022 graduate application. We will be going through each point one by one and we will understand what each point means and how to proceed. So without wasting any time, let's move ahead. So this is the guideline which you can download from Study in Korea website, and these are the table of contents. Moving ahead, and this is the objectives which you can read it. These are the particular things which you can see that for master's degree you have to do 1 year of Korean language program. For doctoral degree you'll have to do 1 year of Korean language plus 3 years of program. So these are pretty straightforward written, and you just have to stick with these things. And moving ahead, so for application tracks you can see the number of seats available. So for embassy track there are in general category 603 seats, for research 10, and for other things 35, then total 648. For similarly for university track there are 425 for general, regional has 200, and there is a new kind of criteria which has been announced, that is R&D, which is research and development. This is for people who are interested in research and research majors. So there are a total of 1378 seats this year. Now moving ahead, that is available fields and study. So for this you can just go through the university university fields and majors sheet, that is Excel file and all that thing, to get an idea about which major are they offering and what universities and which major and what is the language of instruction and everything. You can find it. Now moving ahead to the other part, that is the list of available university for embassy track. So there are two types of university, type A and type B, and for embassy applicants you'll have to select at least one type B university. So for embassy track people, they can select 3 universities, out of which at least one should be type B. So you can decide which university you want to apply for, and if you are still confused like which university to choose from, then there is a video where I have shared some tips and tricks to how to select universities, which you can watch it. Now moving ahead with university track, so you can see that university track has two types of universities, that is general and regional. For general, if you see it clearly, then they have simply copy pasted these these both are lists are same. Why? Because let's say if you are applying for MBA, till last year what was happening is that you can still apply for MBA at Daegu University or some other university, but the problem was that it was mentioned as regional plus engineering, so it was creating a lot of confusion for applicants, like are these universities only for engineering majors? So to clear all this mess, they have copy pasted this whole university list to general also. So if you are applying for MBA, then you will have to tick general column in that particular application form 1. So once I will be showing how to fill application form, I'll also show which tick marks you have to make and all that thing. Now for R&D, again these 12 institutions have been selected, and for research you can select any university. Moving ahead with the quota, you can see the number of quota assigned to each country. So for general scholars 603, each countries have certain quota. If you follow India, then they have 22 seats for embassy track. Similarly, moving down, if you see the university track, so they have certain documents so if you moving down to university track, they have certain seats for India also. I think for general it's 19, for regional it's 11, so total it's 30. So yeah, these are the quotas for each country. You can check for your country and then go ahead. So these are pretty basic things. So we'll be discussing important things and important changes in this application form. Moving ahead, the eligibility part. So you should not be a citizenship holder of Korea, and your parents should not be a citizenship holder of Korea. So these are things are there, and these are pretty basic things which you can read and understand. Yeah, for master's degree you should hold at least bachelor's degree. For doctoral program you should hold at least master's degree. So these things are there. And here it's an important thing. Okay, so let's say if you are in final semester, let's say if you are for a 3-year program, 3-year program, you would be right now in 6th semester, and for 4-year program you would be right now in 8th semester. So the thing is that if you are in these semesters right now, so you'll have to submit a certificate of expected graduation, and it should contain at least some kind of months or date when you are going to be graduating and getting your degree. So if you have this certificate of expected graduation, you can still apply for this scholarship, and once you are selected, then you will get time till August 31 to submit your original degree. So this is all it talks about. Now moving towards another parameter, that is grades. So this is also one of the important parameters, so I'll explain you. So if you see CGPA should be at least on one of the following scales. What are the one of the scales? So it should be on 4 scale, 4.3 or 4.5 or 5 scale. Let's say if you don't have CGPA on these scales, so what to do? Let's say in India, if you follow 10 scale system, then you can simply write 10 scale system on your university, application form. Let's say if you get first semester you got 7 GPA out of 10, then 8 GPA out of 10. You can simply write these marks in the application form. Along with this particular thing, you can submit an additional document officially issued by the university describing the university grading system. So if you don't have the CGPA or SGPAs in this particular grading system, then you can simply write as it is and submit an official issued document which explains the grading system of your particular university. Now, how to calculate CGPA? So let's say if you get a semester wise GPAs and you don't know how to calculate CGPA, so CGPA is basically calculated by sigma n is equal to 1 to t, and sigma n is equal to 1 to t, and this is SGPA, starting I and then total number of semesters. So I'll explain it again. So let's say if you have 7 semesters or 8 semesters, then S1 plus S2 plus S3 followed by S8 divided by total number of semesters, that's S8. So that's what it means. So n is equal to 1 till total number of semesters per each semester, each semester GPAs by total number of semesters. So this is how you calculate CGPA. Means you are taking an average, that's all. And if you are submitting on the basis of expected graduation certificate, then you should be giving CGPA till the last semester. Let's say if you are in 8th semester right now or 6th semester right now, then you should calculate CGPA till 5th semester, so or 7th semester. So this is what it means. Now moving ahead with the documents, so this is about age and all. You can read it and get an idea. This is health and all, so it's not important thing. Okay, means it's important, but it's not important for our discussion. It's easy to understand, so it's not pretty, so you can understand it. So let's move ahead, and these are the restrictions, so which you can read it and get an idea. So I'll only talk about the important things because I don't want to make this video too long, and you can just read these things and get some idea. Okay, so this is also an important thing. Okay, so I'll explain it. Let's say if you are applying for university track, so you have to stick to the guidelines by need. That is, you have to submit certain documents, but there is a possibility that they may require something extra from you. So you have to check with each university or embassy, and then you have to stick to the stick to their guidelines also. And the base guideline will be need guideline, but they have to, if they want any additional eligibility, then you'll have to check that and apply accordingly. So this is all about that particular thing. Then there is this flowchart which tells about the process. So if you see, for embassy track, you will be submitting your documents to embassy. In India, if you submit your documents to MHRD, and then after submitting to embassy or MHRD, the first round will happen. Then the embassy will recommend your application to NEED, and then NEED will do further evaluation. Then the second round will happen, and then after second round, the NEED will send the documents to all the 3 universities which you mentioned in the application. And out of these 3 universities, maybe any 1 or any 2 or all the 3 can select you. Let's say 2 selects you, then you will be getting into second university. In university track, you only select the university, and you send your documents to that particular university, and that particular university sees that if you hold some potential, they will recommend your application to NEED, and then once NEED selects your documents, then the final results will come. So this is all about the particular this whole flowchart thing. This is the selection schedule. So the application has been released in February now, and the guidelines will vary from embassy to university, and then the results will come in April, and then the second round results will come in April, May, and then the final results will come in June. Last year when I applied, I think it came around some 10th of June, and then we had to submit medical report, and then the final results came around 28th of June, I guess. Yeah, so it came around after I got my MEX results. That was on 14th of June. So yeah, it's additional information, no use for you. So moving ahead, these are the selection timelines. So you can see that the guidelines has been released now. So this is the first thing that has been done. Now the first round of selection schedule will come by embassy and university. Then the submission will take place. Then successful candidate will be announced. The second round, and then medical submission, and then final round, and all that thing will happen. So these all you can give a read and understand. Now moving ahead with another set, that is document to submit. So as you can see, the application period will be set by each university or embassy, and the method of submission will also be set by each university or embassy. So for university, you will have to send your documents, hard copy documents, to the university itself. So you can either use some international couriers like DHL or FedEx to send your documents, and for embassy track, you just have to send the documents to your South Korean embassy in a particular country. So for that, you can use any postal services. Moving ahead, these are the list of documents required. So these are the documents required completely, and these documents do not need to be apostilled, like these documents. Okay, so application form, personal statement, study plan, and these things are required. This year only one letter of recommendation is required. That's a good thing, because you'll not have to run behind professors to get a letter of recommendation, because that can be a big mess. Okay, so no problem about this. I have already made a video about form 5, which you can check it. And then moving ahead, form 7, form 8, these you can fill by yourself and then submit. Now these are the important documents, like certificate required. Certificates, the bachelor's degree certificate, transcript, and master's degree for PhD applicants, transcript and all. Then certificate employment, these are things are not only required for certain people, so it's not for you. Now this proof of citizenship. So for proof of citizenship, I'll be explaining what all things are required in the later part of the video. Then these overseas Korean, these are mostly not required by people, so we can skip this. Moving ahead with other set of documents, that is English proficiency test or topic. So you can give IELTS, TOEFL, TOEIC, anything. Then if you have some published book, research papers, copy of awards and all these things, so you can give it here. And then passport copy. Here for published papers and all, you cannot give something which is not published yet. Maybe it's under review or something like that. So it is advisable not to submit those things. Only the published things should be given here. Now moving towards the documents preparation for application. So as you can see, we will see which all documents are needed for first round of selection. So the first round of selection, the requirement is set by each university or embassy, and then documents needed are form 1 to form 8, and recommendation letter, application agreement, personal medical assessment. These are things are there. And then the required certificates like graduation certificate, academic transcript, proof of national, these things. So all the documents which were in the checklist right now, so these all things are required for the first round of selection. Now in the second round, there can be something like the possibilities, like in the first round there is a possibility that the embassy or university may tell you that you can submit some documents later. So I'll tell you one example. Let's say in India, what happened right now is that if you don't have birth certificate, so you have been given option to submit voter ID card or passport. But if you see the guidelines, it clearly says that you have to give either birth certificate or family register. So in the first round, you are exempted to submit these documents, but once you clear the round 1, you'll have to submit birth certificate or family register. So these kind of exemptions you will get in round 1, but for round 2, all the forms must be submitted and as per the need guidelines. And then particular there should be signatures and everything. So it says that all the forms must be submitted in English or Korean with applicant's signature. So forms, like I was telling you before that, I'll show you. So these are the forms, and they don't so these are the forms and they don't need to be apostilled. So that is what mentioned in that particular paragraph. Now moving ahead with the other thing, that is for how many documents. So 1 original is required and then 3 photocopies of it, and for universities only 1 set is required. Then the required certificates, which you can see here. So what it says is that I'll read it and explain you. Documents which is written in English or Korean must be apostilled and consular confirmed. Okay, so if a degree or transcript or everything is written in English or Korean, you can simply apostille it. If it is not in English or Korean, then it should, that it should contain an official translation, and the translation document should be attached, but the original one should be apostilled. So let's say if your birth certificate is in Hindi, okay, in that case you get the translated birth certificate. I will write it as TBC, then you apostille this one and you attach TBC with this with this one. So this is what it means. In this point you can see notarized or original documents without apostille or consular confirmation are not required. So let's say if you're planning to give transcript or degree without without apostille, like simply notarize or originally, let's say many people are asking they are submitting their original transcript, show whether they should apostille or not. Even if you are submitting original documents, you still have to apostille it. So think about that. Now moving towards the another page, that is important notes regarding application submission. So in this there are pretty simple points which you can read it and understand it. It's not so not so difficult to understand, and I think okay, I'll go through it and I'll see what to explain. So I think everything is in okay. So yeah, one more thing I got to tell you. So if an applicant should submit a which cannot be reissued in future, then please keep your original documents and apostille confirm on notarized documents. So what it means is that from notarized document is that if you are not able to get your original documents in future, then it's better to apostille or consular confirm on a notarized document. From notarized it means true copy. So first you true copy the document and then you apostille on it. So this is what it means. Now moving towards these things. So application documents required for the second round of selection. So you have to see the signatures are properly there or not. Recommender signatures are needed for form 5. Then the applicant signatures are required for form 7. Form 1 through 3, 4 should also contain your signature. Form 8 should also contain your signature. So these things are there, or it's not difficult to understand, so you can just go through it. Now this page is one of the most important page of this whole guideline, so I'll explain this slowly and I'll try to make you understand it. So what it means is that from certificate of graduation we will start. So the certificate of graduation must indicate kind of date when you graduated. So if you are submitting your original degree, so it doesn't have any problem because it will contain your graduation date. But if you are submitting a provisional certificate, then you should at least have the MMDD MMYY format, like okay, you graduated on this month and this year. And if you are submitting expected graduation certificate, it should also have these kind of dates that you will be graduating on this particular month or year. So you have to keep this particular thing in mind, that date of graduation should be there. Also, if you are applying for doctoral degree or master's degree, then your previous degree program should be that. So I'll explain with this example. Let's say if you are applying for double master's program, okay, you have done BBA, okay, and you have done maybe MCom, okay, and then now you are applying for MBA. In this case, your BBA marks will be considered, not your MCom. So what I'm trying to say is that if you are applying for another program, your previous degree program will be considered. So if you're applying for PhD, then your master's degree program will be considered. Master's degree marks will be considered. So this is what I was trying to explain. Now also with the expected graduation certificate, it should be official certificate of expected graduation which indicates month or date of graduation. A simple certificate like a bona fide certificate without expected graduation date will not be accepted. So even if you are submitting bona fide certificate, it should have at least some kind of date which will give some clear idea that okay, you will be graduating by this time or this month or something like that. And if you submit if you apply with these kind of certificates, then if you get selected, then it will be written as conditional successful candidate, and after you submit your original degree, then it will be the final announcement. So it's not a problem, it's okay. Now moving towards the application transcript. So as you can see, the application transcript officially issued by the university, so it should be apostille. So both documents, like these two documents, both should be apostille. It's not a, and these also. So these all documents should be apostille. So this is what it means is that if the application converts the grade through converting tools such as Scholaro or WES, then the converted grade must be officially acknowledged by the relevant university. And in this case, apostille is not required. So for transcript, apostille is required. In addition to that, okay, in addition, it's not like you are replacing this document. In addition to that, if you are giving these documents, means Scholaro conversion and all, then in that case apostille is not required. Only acknowledgement from the university is required. Let's say university stamp and all these things are required. So this is all about this thing, and I think yeah, so this is okay. Now moving towards this particular document, that is proof of citizenship. So if you read it here, official certificate issued by government such as birth certificate or family register. So you have only two options here, okay? So people who are telling that you can give Aadhaar card, voter ID card, PAN card, etc., etc., it is not accepted. You have only two options. For an applicant, it is must. At least for an applicant, birth certificate is very, very, very important. But for your parents, let's say if they don't have birth certificate, in that case, they can give some other documents like passport and some documents like government issued documents. So maybe voter ID card and all that thing. And in that case, let's say if they give simple copy of an ID card, let's say residence card, driving license or voter ID card, then it is not accepted. But what I understood from this point is that a simple copy, it's not like if you are apostilling it. If you are apostilling it and if you are giving it properly, then I think it will be acceptable, because in India, if you are allowed to vote, that means you are you are a citizen of this particular country. So it clearly mentions that you are a citizenship of country. You are a citizen of this country, so you can give voter ID card. And also the embassy of South Korea in India has allowed it, so it's not a problem. And then proof of age and these things are not needed by all of the applicants if you are submitting birth certificate. So let's keep these documents, and then you can see score report for topic and English proficiency, so you can just give a read and all that thing, so it's not important. And these documents, copy of awards and certificate, these doesn't need to be apostille or notarize anything. You can just give photocopy, that's all. Now there are some important notes regarding documents to complete. So once you are done with the documents arrangement and everything, then the names which you will write on your application should be the official name. It's like, let's say if you're applying to SNU, so you should not write SNU, okay? You should write Seoul National University, full form, not acronym. So it should be official name. And also the name which you are writing, your name which you are writing, it should match with your passport. It should not be different from your passport. Let's say your surname or your middle name or something like that. It should all match with your passport. Then for visa thing and all, if the name has some error, it will create problem in future, so we don't want that. Later on, if you can see, you have to label your document. So this is also an important thing which students forget. So what label means is that, let's say if you are if you're submitting a document, let's say if it is form 1, then at the top right corner of this you have to write form 1, and either write it with pencil, or you can use sticky notes, or you can just use a piece of paper and attach it with paper clip. So any type of labeling will be okay, like this. Okay, so you have to label it, and all the documents should be on A4 size and all these things. So this is pretty basic details. And again, this is just for the embassy track to give an idea about you. So you can choose up to 3 universities, and at least one should be type B. So this is about the embassy track people. And you can see from it is mentioned that even if you clear round 2, there's a possibility that you won't be getting into round 3, and this statistics is for that. So these people were not able to get seats in round 3 even if they qualified till round 2. So this is just to scare you guys, but don't worry. If you clear, like if you fill the universities, at least one university will select you, so don't worry about it. And then these are the evaluation points. So as you can see here, the evaluation point, the main point is, the first is qualification, then competency. Qualification, what it means is that first your application will be just whether you are qualified or not. So let's say if you are eligible or not, or you have given all the documents correctly or not. So these things will be checked here, and if you fulfill all these criteria, then your competency will be checked among other applicants. So this is what main points of evaluation means. Also the additional points which you can go through and understand, it's not a big thing. Then the evaluation preferences, if you see, then you can understand that overseas Korean and all you can see from here. So overseas Korean will be preferred, and then low income people will be preferred. Then applicants who are applying for natural science or engineering majors in regional university will be preferred. And then who are, these, so these are pretty basic evaluation preferences which you can read and get an idea about. Now this is again an important box. So if, let's say if you don't get into embassy track in the first round, then you can check with the dates of university track, and you can apply to any university for university track also. So an embassy track people can apply to university track if he or she is redirected in the first round. So this is all it about. Now this is medical assessment and all, so you can just read it about, like once you pass the second round, then you'll have to give a medical report signed by a doctor, physician or MD, and then you'll have to get some reports done. So these are things like last year we did some reports, like I think we did all kinds of tests, like drug test and all these things. And then after doing this test, we have to submit the reports, and then the final results will come. So this is after you clear second round. So this is not for now, right now. So you can just give a read and understand whole the process and everything. And then this is final successful candidates who are residing in Korea and all that thing. And these all the period of scholarships and scholarship benefits. So you can just go through it to get get kind of motivation and all. So yeah, this is all about the scholar. This is all about the So yeah, this is all about the guidelines. So I think I was able to explain the guidelines in a detailed way, I think, and I think it will help you to at least get some idea about the guidelines. And if you have any problem, then you can always comment down below and subscribe to my channel, because if you don't subscribe, then how will you come to know about this particular videos? And then if you have any questions, you can always follow me on Instagram, and I will try to answer them. So soon I will be making video on how to fill the application forms. So for now, it's better to understand the guideline and then work on the documents accordingly. We have to collect the documents. We have to modify our personal statement and study plan, because this time they have increased the page limit also. So you can just work on it, and don't worry about the deadlines, because the university and embassy will be setting the deadlines. So it is not on our hand to decide. They will be releasing the guidelines soon for their own dates and all. So till then you can invest your time in preparing the documents and everything. So I hope this video was helpful, and if it was helpful, then why not like the video and subscribe to my channel. So till then, all the best.